Technology Awards, and he's coming up to speak to us about the idea that science fiction precedes technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then automobile expert Matt Gibbs will be here from Sunrise Automotive answering all of your car care questions.
Have all of your political questions answered by U.S. Representative Richard Nugent.
And then Jerry Ferris Finger will be on with us. She's a reporter, a researcher, and an editor, and she's written a book called The Devil Laughed, a Mariah Drew Richard Lake mystery novel.
Dr. Rod Noy is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and a PGA Tour doctor. He'll be speaking about the Wakefield Research Survey. Joint concerns do not discriminate with age or gender.
All of that plus fun with Joe on Mondays, AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM. You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Live from the Gateway Bank on a Friday. It's Community Gazette Day, and if I had a city councilman I could talk to, oh, wait a minute, I got one right here. That's the thing about Gateway Bank. You look around, you got a city councilman, you got somebody else of importance here, and people just come through all the time. This guy happens to be here a lot because he works here, and that would be Jay Musley. Councilman Musley, how are you, sir?
Thank you. I got a little intro. Who's the Eagles fan there?
That would be Ashley.
Okay,
yeah.
Good choice.
Well, you're an Eagles guy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my time frame.
Yeah, mine too, but a lot later. I'm a big Eagles fan. I love Hotel California. That was quite an album.
Yes, sir.
Good. Why don't you just for a change give me your correct title at Gateway, because I never get it right. So.
I am.
Do you know what it is, by the way?
Well, I actually got a promotion 2 weeks ago.
Really? Well, see, it's a timely story now.
And everybody's going to think I'm jonesing for the publicity here.
Well, no, I asked. You didn't bring it up. I did.
Executive Vice President and Senior Credit Officer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, you hear that? We've got an executive vice president. I know who to go to if I got a problem in Gateway now.
I have mad respect for him because he's, city councilman Musley and vice president Musley. Look at that.
He's piling on the honors. You never know what he may be. Hey, Jay, I'm glad you're here because Tom and I have been having a lot of conversation this past week while you were working. We actually were doing other stuff about what's happening downtown and what we have called some discord among some of the people who run the city, and we're not all that smart about how things work, but we do know that the city manager works for city council, and we do know if council members are unhappy or one or two or more with the city manager, and that sort of dribbles out, which it has in some cases, not you but other people, that that things can happen. And we were told, Tom, I believe this is your story, that there was going to be a review of Matt Brower. Doesn't mean he's doing a horrible job. Doesn't mean he's going to get fired. But there was going to be a review, but it was going to be early and out of cycle, and therefore that seems a little bit odd. And I asked you earlier about that, and what did you tell me?
Well, it is not out of cycle at all. His contract is up for renewal in October. It's a 2-year contract. It was renewed 2 years ago. At that time, I was on council. I just come on council 3 or 4 months, and we did not do a review. It was simply approved as an action item on the agenda. A meeting or two ago, I suggested this cycle that we go ahead and do a review on Matt, along with a review on the city clerk, which is Angel Jacobs, a review on our attorneys, which is the Gilligan Gooding Law Firm, and if the mayor wanted to do a review on the police chief, his appointment also comes due. And finally, our city auditor is the last one. Those are the people that report to city council, with the exception of the police chief.
All right, so this is not anything terribly unusual. Now, here's you can comment on this if you want to. You don't have to, because some of these are not connected and related. But the whole aspect of downtown. and the city manager's office in terms of what do we do with the golf course? The golf course, of course, is now being run by Billy Casper. There's some people who feel like apparently that this should be Tom, you help me out here. It should be part of the general fund and not be part of.
It's an enterprise. It's in the enterprise fund because they charge money to use the golf course. So it shows a debt every year of the renovation.
Well, I mean, it shows a debt of expenses exceed the revenues.
But it could be moved into the general fund by a vote of council.
I guess it could, and I would, I wouldn't have a problem with that, and just put it under Parks and Recreation. I mean, you look at all the green space that we provide, for the citizens of Ocala and also the citizens, in the county that, come into the city. The Jervy Gant Park comes to mind. We operate a couple of pools. We operate a tennis facility. We have other tennis courts. We have many parks, lots of recreation facilities that aren't operated on a for-profit or for a fee-based revenue basis. We kind of single golf out, and sometimes I don't know whether that's fair or not. The golf course takes a lot of effluent. If we close it down, where would we put the effluent?
EFF, not AFF.
That is correct. Yeah. Effluent,
as in liquid,
as in liquid water. That's not potable. In addition to that, what are you going to do with the golf course if you were to quit operating it?
Well,
you're going to let it grow. You're going to let weeds grow up in it, and then it becomes a haven for drug dealers and other crimes.
Well, you could if it became part of the general fund and you paid the debt off, you could actually lease it to a private company, and then it would make money for the city without the city having to run it. Isn't that one option?
That sounds real easy.
It's happening at Pine Oaks.
I don't think the debt was as much at Pine Oaks as what's on the city right now. That's a good question, and I will follow up with that and ask that of one of I'll ask Catherine Cameron, who is the golf falls under her domain as the assistant city manager.
All right, so golf is one thing. It's not and there was discussions about the Marion Theater, which is really not having to do with tax dollars. Some people kind of seemed like they were disturbed, but there was a story that Marion Theater lost $9,000 last cycle and so on and so forth. And that may have happened, but there's two things here. A, the city is not paying any of that, and B, it may not be related to movies. There were other things that they did, including outside things they did that were not related. And first of all, why would the city care unless they were going to go broke? And the Sotos are not going to go broke.
No.
And they're great operators. And the fact that of course, I love the Marion Theater, but I'm just saying what's logical is that they had more expenses this last 6 months period, and therefore they didn't make the money. If you compare apples to apples and go back into the tickets, look at the tickets, I'm guessing about where they were the year before, maybe slightly down because the movies weren't as good. So that's people want to lump that in. That's nothing to do with the operation of the city.
Right. It's we provide a bunch of services, and not every service, do we recoup all our cost on.
Right. Like you said, the golf course.
The golf course. Yeah. I mean, and that golf course is attended by people from all demographics, and the same thing with the Marion Theater. To mothball it is that's not an option. Okay, and it's part of this. One of the pillars of the revitalization of downtown.
And you talk about then there's a discussion about the music series. People want to take a shot at that. Well, I think everybody knew going in that was the money was going to be spent to build it up, and they gave free concerts, and now they're starting to charge. And obviously, there's a lot of expense involved with that, and you hire acts; it's not cheap. And some people seem to be upset about that. Well, if you're ever going to go ask the merchants how they like the business they got. And by the way, the tax money that came in from that too, as well, which the city gets back.
Yeah.
So the economics sometimes. When you start putting it together, you got to factor these things in, and I know you are being a numbers guy and being on council, which I'm glad you're there because you know your numbers, and among other things. And I think it's good that we can look at it in that light. And then there's some. I'm just going to say this and tell you what. The mayor came on this week, and we talked about what are the issues, and he said there were some other issues that he feels like there were conversations need to be had at appropriate time, appropriate place. And among the things he mentioned was. So-called laundry list of things to discuss, and one of them was getting back to people in a timely fashion from the city. There was one thing, and then the so-called perceived arrogance, or whatever you want to call it, that sometimes, according to what the mayor said, Some people feel like that the city manager's staff seems to be charged with. I don't know that. I haven't seen that. I haven't dealt with it. I'm just passing along information that they're related. So those are the things, getting it all out there just so we know. And you'll be obviously discussing these kinds of things in workshops, whatever, in the future. Just kind of give us your 2 cents worth on where we stand, how we're doing, where we're going, and if any of that is any concern to you.
Well, it's always a concern to me. I want a good. Our charter calls for a strong city manager position, and you want a good city manager, to run the city. I think Matt is due some feedback on his performance, and hopefully, once we have everything set up, he'll get that feedback in a public forum. As far as a perception of arrogance amongst him and his staff, I don't perceive that at all.
You don't see that?
No, I don't. Mm-hmm. I do not see that.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to hear.
And he's got an unenviable task of trying to appease a bunch of masters.
Yep.
He's got five council people that he directly reports to. He's got a mayor that he doesn't report to at all, but offers his opinion quite often.
Former councilman.
Yes, former councilman. And then he's got all the citizens and the taxpayers of the community, and then he's got the citizens of the outside community that just want to put their 2 cents in, but they're not.
Right.
So, but that's the job you take, okay?
Yeah.
And he needs to. I think he understood that, and he understands it, and he's got. It's a difficult job to fill. We now have 3 unions. Okay, we had another union come in. Is the formation of a union a sign of a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. We were tough on negotiations.
Yeah. Maybe
that brought the union in. Okay.
Okay, those are fair comments. And Tom, I know you want to get a question. We only got 30 seconds, so go ahead.
Well, my question is, in talking about source this week, the union is one of the major sticking blocks that they say is something that council thinks the city staff dropped that feel council and city staff aren't seeing eye to eye on who dropped the ball there, and also that staff in a timely manner works on their time schedule, not on council time schedule. Council asks for something, management gets it to them when management wants to get it to them, not when council wants it. Is that been your experience?
Well, I'll address the latter first. No, that's not been my experience. There are times when I'd like things a little bit quicker, but I realize you got 15 different balls in the air. Sometimes you can only keep 12 afloat. But then I'll get to the first part of the question, which was, remind me real quickly. The union issue. I don't perceive the staff or management dropped the ball on the union issue. Here's what formed that union. We did pension reform. We had to do pension reform. We were, physically, we were required to do it because we could not continue upon that unsustainable plan. That's, in my mind, that's what caused the union.
All right, Jay, appreciate it. I don't know who's playing fake or fact, or whether it's going to be Tom Inger or not, but somebody from Gateway will take on Tom Schmitz next. Thanks for coming by and unscheduled this afternoon. Appreciate it very much, and good to get your 2 cents worth on this. I want to get some balance in the story. So, Councilman Jay Mustang and Executive Vice President.
Executive Vice President, wow, yes, sir.
I'm telling you that. Big. I know he wins.
He's much bigger than us, buddy. Let's just put it that way.
He was already that before he got the title. So thanks, Jay.
Thank you, guys.
Coming up next, fake or factoid, because somebody's going to beat Tom. I don't know who it's going to be. We'll find out next right here in the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, I'm Darla Priest of Coldwell Banker Ellison Realty, and Joe and I believe in the team concept. That's why we're happy to be on Buddy Martin's team for sponsorship of his SEC Media Days report live from Hoover, Alabama. When it comes to real estate, however, we know the score at Coldwell Banker Ellison Realty. To speak with our team captain, call me, Darla Priest, 352-816-0887.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a fourth. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Hey, it's Tom James. If you just can't get enough of Buddy Martin talking sports on the radio all week, I have the solution for you. Check out his college football column each week on SouthernPigskin.com. That's SouthernPigskin.com. Everything you ever wanted to know about college football in the South.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA. Coming August 8th and 9th, the first annual Ocala Bike Fest. How would you like a chance to win a 2014 Harley Street Glide? How about a 2014 Indian Chief Vintage? The tickets are only $100 each, and each chance drawing has only 599 tickets. Now that is some great odds. All proceeds go to ARC. Questions, call 387-2210. The number again is 387-2210. Ocala Bike Fest. We'll see you there.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole-house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Back to Voice of Ocala live from Gateway Bank on a Friday. It's Community Gazette Day and time to play Fake or Factoid, America's new favorite game, soon to be syndicated with Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Tom Schmitz is back. He got beat yesterday by Angie Lewis. He's not happy. So now his challenger is a guy named Tom Ingram. Gentlemen, are you ready to go?
Yeah, Tom, you realize that win or lose, we both win because all they'll be able to say is Tom won.
Tom won. TNT.
That's all they'll be able to say.
Well, I do. I am the defending champion. I think.
You are the defending champion. I'll give you that.
We don't have time for this small talk, gentlemen. The game is on, all right? Fake or factoid? Number 1, pistachio ice cream can make you sleep better. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact. Both say fact? Anybody want to change their answer? Okay. You should have. That's fake.
I do. Yeah, I'll change mine.
Both of you have 1 minute. You guys won't make it through. Both of you will be out by the time we get to 5.
Well, it works for Tom when he sleeps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Number 2, by the way, Pistachio happens to be the favorite flavor of LeBron James.
Fact.
Fact. Both of you say fact? Anybody want to change their answer? You should have. That was fake, too.
Jeez.
Both of you are out. You just don't get that pistachio ice cream. I don't know. This is going to be too easy. You guys need to put away. Number 4.
Number 3. Number 3, buddy.
Number 3, excuse me. Well, I might as well skip on down. I'm not going to need them all.
I'm just saying.
Putting your iPhone in airplane mode, it will charge twice as fast. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact. Both say fact. Both are correct. You're both alive. Number 4. Android phones emit 3% more radiation. Fake or factoid?
Then what? iPhones?
Yeah. Well, more than other phones.
Any other phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fact.
Fake.
Tom Schmidt says fact. Tom Ingram says fake. Tom Schmidt is out. The champion reigns.
Thank you. Yes.
There you go. There you go.
Bring on the next challenger. Where's Angie?
Boy.
Angie beat Tom. Really, it's just Tom. But
you have it.
I'm undefeated.
Can you play the music? The Champions by Queen. Can you play that?
No, we're not
Come on,
playing it. Nope, they can't
I'll sing
find
it. Can I sing it?
Sorry, can't find it.
Let's see if you guys can get the number in 30 seconds here. The number today was going to be this. It takes how many head of cattle to produce 1 pound of adrenaline? 1 pound of adrenaline. How many head of cattle? Lieutenant Billy Woods probably knows
40
that.
head.
40 head. Just 40 head to get 1 pound of adrenaline, okay?
39.
You want to go under?
Hey,
well, that was close.
It was going to be 39 or 41.
It was close. It's 12,000, by the way, just in case you
know. We're
close.
Good job. Good job, Thomas. At least you have a little bit of pride.
But you won the championship. That was just a runner-up. All right, I hear the music playing. Thanks, Tom Ingram. Appreciate it very much. Thanks, Tom Schmitz. Coming up next, Ask the Cops with Sheriff Chris Blair and Lieutenant Billy Woods right here on Gateway Bank on a Friday.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Stringing us along. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. Hey, Gator fans, you know what that means. Football season is just about here, and there'll be life in the swamp again soon. Catch my reports all week from the SEC Media Days on The Source. And cheer up, for crying out loud.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
This is Jeopardy!
Here are the categories.
I'll take Mike Scott Plumbing for 1,000, please, Alex.
Answer. Daily double.
I'll wager 5,000.
All right. Here is the clue. PU is the type of this complication.
What is a sewage backup?
Yes, that's right.
It's all fun and games until something happens to you, like a septic system failure or a clogged drain or line, leaving you saying PU. But not to worry, Mike Scott Plumbing is there to get you out of that jeopardy and back on track. And they don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. From septic pumping to lawn irrigation to high-efficiency water heaters. At Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Stop by one of the newly renovated showrooms in Hernando or Wildwood, or call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Each time we tell even a small white lie, we get a boost in stress that directly impacts our health. So when is it better to use a debit card? If you tend to overspend, when you can't actually see the money you're spending, it is easy to get carried away and rack up huge charges that may be difficult to pay back. Good middle ground is to address somebody the way they introduce themselves to you. So if you say, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Ferguson," then stick with the Mrs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hey, Gator fans, you know what that means. Football season is just about here, and there'll be life in the swamp again soon. Catch my reports all week from the SEC Media Days on The Source. And cheer up, for crying out loud.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends, Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Don Matheson. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he will not yield to international pressure to stop Gaza Strip military operations. More than 100 Palestinians killed.
Israeli forces have been amassed on the Israel-Gaza border. We've seen tanks, armored personnel carriers, and heavy artillery. A UN representative told us today that people are starting to panic buy, meaning they're stocking up and hoarding.
Fox's John Huddy in Gaza City. Palestinians have fired more than 600 rockets at Israel. A mishap at a Centers for Disease Control lab.
I've issued a moratorium on CDC transferring any biological samples out of any BSL-3 or BSL-4 laboratory.
Tom Frieden is the CDC director. Samples of smallpox and anthrax might have exposed some workers. A House committee chair skeptical of the president's request for nearly $4 billion for border control. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When your battery goes out on you, it's like a sucker punch to the gut. But now at Napa, when you buy a new battery, alternator, or starter, you get a Visa rebate card by mail for up to $25. And a Visa rebate card for up to $25 with a new battery? Well, that's like a sucker punch to the gut, but from a really pretty girl. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. To avoid spending the day on the lake, a man told his family it was infested with sharks, so he could go to Hot Deals of Summer at Golfsmith, where you'll find the lowest prices of any golf store, guaranteed. And it's on dry land. During Hot Deals of Summer, save over $110 on a Garmin S1 GPS watch. Now just $139.98. You'll know exactly how far you are from the green and save a lot too. Only at Golfsmith.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Hello, welcome to the Voice of Ocala, hour 2 of the program. It's live from Gateway Bank. Time now for our Ask the Cops show. Glad to be bringing you this once again. And today, Sheriff Chris Blair joins the show. Greg Graham is not available today. He sent Billy Woods, who's here. And gentlemen, welcome to the show, and good to have you back. Chris, good to see you again. I
Absolutely.
caught the show last week out at the Ag Center. We're going to talk about that a lot today.
No, I appreciate
that,
it.
as you point out, is a joint effort with the police departments of other cities in Marion County, and so you got a lot of kudos last week. So
I appreciate that very much.
Billy, good to see you again.
It's always a pleasure to be here, buddy.
Yeah, and welcome back, and we'll see if you can. There's this phrase called getting Wallach pipped. We bring it up a lot because it's the old story of the Yankees where Lou Gehrig was a rookie and first baseman named Wallach Pipp. Mm-hmm. He played for a number of years there starting, and one day he got a headache and took the day off. And Lou Gehrig stepped in, and he never got his job back. So he was Wallach Pipp. So I'm not saying, Chief, that we're going to Wallach Pipp you, but just know that, okay?
Got it.
You never know. Well, we got a good bit to talk about today, and I'm going to spend extensive time on the kiosk, crime prevention's kiosk, which is such a big story last week with the Attorney General here and so on. I also want to talk to you about a very disconcerting thing that happened this week at the Walmart parking lot, obviously out at Silver Spring Shores. We had a homicide there, a 21-year-old guy. And then this is not our story, but one still that it relates to us, and that is that horrible shooting in Houston, where there was 6 family members that were killed by. I never was sure if it was an estranged father or husband or uncle who it was, but obviously someone who knew them. We'll get to that story again, and it relates directly to something, Chris, that you and Greg and I have talked about a lot on this show about someone coming to your door. And this was really particularly difficult because this guy came to the door in a FedEx outfit, and he used to be a FedEx employee. Now, that is scary.
Yep, absolutely.
And you all both made me very wary. I used to take stuff for granted. You always taught me, lock your car and don't let people in your house or open your door if you don't know them. You've told me. And call if there's anything special. Those 3 things I'll always remember.
Well, we want to keep you safe.
Yeah, and yet some of those things are fairly simple. I don't know that these children could have done much about what happened in Houston because obviously they were incapable of stopping this guy. But and the other thing is that Tom Schmitz and I talked about this earlier this week, and Billy, you heard us talk about this too. Is that Chris? You openly said this in your when you ran for the office that you don't want Ocala to turn into Orlando. That's something that always hits my brain.
Well, I used to say as a young detective, because the cases that we worked, we used to say Miami moving north, and
mm-hmm.
Now Miami hit Orlando. Now we say Orlando moving north,
mm-hmm.
and it's something that we all have to be concerned with.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some of the activity that's going on, so certainly we got to be worried about it.
Yeah, lots of stories about this new equipment we got now for to use for your SWAT team, which we're going to get into that, Billy. I know that's a joint effort thing, too, that you guys have worked out. The monies you've been able to accrue from the funds that were drug dealers.
No taxpayers
money. All that kind of thing is very important. And then I was talking to a detective. I went out to a wedding, Terry Bradshaw's daughter, and I talked to a detective from Virginia, 17 years. And, it was Indianapolis for 17 years. And he said something to me that stuck with me. He says, the average person has no idea how bad things are out there. And you guys know that because you hear about it all the time. And I've told this story. My mom worked for the sheriff's office for 20 years. And she was a dispatcher. And she'd come home and say, it's dangerous. I'd say, Mom, I'm okay. I'm 17 years old. I can handle all this stuff, So just not to scare people, but just the awareness of what's out there. And I don't think we really know that. The public doesn't really know that, do they?
Well, I think the important thing is that, we're doing that daily newscast
and
through our Facebook. And,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to know that. I heard Jimmy Poe, he's my PIO, this morning ringing the bell, because he rings the bell every time we have an auto burger where the door's left unlocked.
Oh, really?
And he rang the bell several times today, so it's a continuous problem. We're trying to educate the people that lock your doors, and we talked about it a lot here. That,
we have.
That it will defend against people coming in because they just go down a line of cars and they pop the door handles, and so. But we do the newscast every morning so that people know what's going on in Marion County. Now, this thing is so important to educate them. And it does make them become aware of what's going on in our community.
And I think you and Chief Graham and the staff have done a really good job. And I think the kiosk program, which you guys are part of too, Billy, is another way to educate the people, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So you grew up here, and you've seen this town grow, and and you see what has transpired, and there's been some good and not so good. And when you grew up, probably people didn't lock their doors as much as they do today. And
no, we were comfortable leaving the car doors unlocked, leaving your front door unlocked. Times change, and we don't want South Miami to approach here. And it's something that we try to educate people that I know the last time I was here, we talked about the unsecure vehicles. We constantly work them every day. Every day we work them when people leave their vehicles unlocked. And people need to stop and think, like the sheriff just said, it's an opportunity. They just walk by, open the door, make it easy for them. Might as well put up a neon sign saying, here's my car, steal what I have in here. But we need to help us. That's what we're asking, is asking for your help, citizens out there, to just take a second to lock it. And most people's got, the remote. Hit the button. Lock it when you walk away from it.
We call that a crime of opportunity. And that's, there's certain things that fall under that category, crime of opportunity. And that's just one of them. That's one that, you have an opportunity to, on both sides, to lock your door because you got the magic button in your hand. And then the criminal has the opportunity because you didn't lock the door. So that's why we call it opportunity.
If it's so simple, why don't people do it? I know you're mystified by that too. Don't get me wrong.
We got the new Hummer out now. We just rolled it out. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did.
The H2 Hummer, and we have a message on there, right? Lock your doors, keep what is yours.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's how you're going to keep it, by locking your doors. So, the Hummer is just designed to send a lot of messages out there. We got the move over law on it. We got texting. We got many, many things, and that's going to be going throughout the schools and throughout the community. It'll be at the Now Church on South Pond next Wednesday, they called, and so we'll have it down there. So we're just trying to educate people off of that piece of equipment.
I also love that car out there, the accident, which you're going to talk about, the kiosk, the one you told me about. I had to get a picture of it, put it on my Facebook page. Half a taxi and half was a deputy's car. Choose one. One's $10,000 and one's what?
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
When you're drinking, either take the cab home or you could be taking a ride home in this baby.
And DUIs are expensive, so
Yeah.
we don't want to put people in jail. I mean, I think the thing is just use common sense out there and try to make the right decision by calling a cab if you don't have a family member that can take you home. If you're out there drinking, people do that. It's not an issue. The problem is that if you drink and drive, that becomes the problem.
Yeah. I would think at that point in time, people should be coached up a little bit on that because there's been such a campaign in the last 25 years about it, MAD and everybody else, in terms of drinking and driving and designated drivers. But to just get that car, to get those couple of extra belts in that bar, and they say, I can make this.
They think they can make it, and that's the purpose of the cab. And I can just tell you, we're having people stop by wherever the cab is located. They're photographing it. They're sending it throughout the country.
I'll bet.
So
that's a terrific. I love that one for sure. So. All right, so Lieutenant Billy Woods from the Ocala Police Department, Sheriff Chris Perry from the Marion County Sheriff's Office is here. I want to take a break and come back, and I want you all to get your mental approach to this. I know when I read, and Tom Schmitz read the story about the 21-year-old kid getting shot and killed, it kind of sent a shiver up my spine, I mean, not that we don't have people getting killed, that they do, but it's just that particular kid in that age, whoever he was, in that situation, at that place, it's just thinking, wow, this doesn't sound like Marion County to me, and I want to get your thoughts about that, too. What were your initial thoughts when you heard about it? And let's talk a little bit about that and how those things happen. Also, we've got questions coming up. Tom Schmitz has got some. We got Hugh ready to call us at the bottom of the hour about what some questions he's got in. We'll also discuss when we come back the new kiosk, which if you folks haven't heard about this is something that Marion County and Ocala leading the way for the rest of the nation, not just the state. And we have an attorney general in Tallahassee who has just flipped out about this idea to the point where she's going to go to all the other states' attorneys and say, you need to know what they're doing in Marion County and Ocala. That, as a citizen, makes me very proud. So we'll talk about that next. We're live from the Gateway Bank on the Fridays. Ask the Cops. Stay tuned for more coming your way right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
Like it or not, springtime is just around the corner, and so is spring cleaning and those winter projects you've been putting off. But don't worry, Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dave Wolverton. He's one of the writers of the Future Anthology Awards, and he's coming up to speak to us about the idea that science fiction precedes technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then automobile expert Matt Gibbs will be here from Sunrise Automotive answering all of your car care questions.
Have all of your political questions answered by U.S. Representative Richard Nugent.
And then Jerry Ferris Finger will be on with us. She's a reporter, a researcher, and an editor, and she's has written a book called The Devil Laughed, a Mariah Drew Richard Lake mystery novel.
Dr. Rod Noy is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and a PGA Tour doctor. He'll be speaking about the Wakefield Research Survey. Joint concerns do not discriminate with age or gender.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on Mondays, AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Back to the Voice of Ocala Ask the Cops Day here at Gateway Bank, and joined by Sheriff Chris Blair and Lieutenant Billy Woods from the Ocala Police Department. And before we went to break, I asked both of you to think about this, because when I saw the story about the 21-year-old man shot and killed in the Walmart parking lot in Silver Spring Shores, kind of shivers went up my spine, thinking, this doesn't even sound like a Marion County crime to me. And I wondered about both of you and as law enforcement officers. I mean, I know this is part of what you do, but what was your immediate reaction? I'll start with you, Sheriff Blair, when you saw that story.
Well, you know, it was in the county, and I got notified that evening that we had a shooting in Silver Spring Shores, and it's presently under investigation, so I can't get into too much details of it. But, you know, my response is that we got young people involved in apparently a physical altercation that turned violent. And instead of, you know, back in the days where we used to do things, you know, if it was fist, it was fist. But things have changed these days, you know, and some people feel that they got to do something else. And so these things happen, and you get verbal arguments, and they turn to another level. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's something that the state attorney's office on this particular case will certainly take a look at, because it is under investigation at this point. But anytime we lose young people in our community, certainly it is alarming.
And Tom Spence actually said the same thing that you said when it happened. He said, you know, back in his day and my day, that it was, you know, you got a beef, take it outside, right?
Yep.
You ends up with some scrapes on your face and some scrapes on your knuckles. That was about it, wasn't it, Sheriff?
Yeah, I would have just left you, because you're bigger than I am. I probably wouldn't have won that one.
Lieutenant Woods, how about you? What was your reaction when you heard that story?
Well, as a father, you know, you look at that, and all you can think of is tragic. You know, turning something, just a simple argument, to the degree of what it was, the level it went to. You know, you got to remember, it's the individual. It's definitely not the gun itself. You know, a lot of people want to turn and blame the gun, and it's not. It's the people that are involved. It's where we need to stop and think, and not try to stop ourselves and don't take it to the violence in which it did. You know,
and certainly, you know, we want to keep the families in our prayers, and you know, no matter what takes place in regards
on both sides.
On both sides, you know, because now there's two young people. We got one that died, and we got another one that, you know, we don't know what that future holds for that person either. So
no formal charges yet.
No, not at this time. Still under investigation.
Waiting to find out. And just one more note about that: the chilling story in Houston, the suburb of Houston, of the guy who came in and dressed in a FedEx outfit and came back and got inside and captured the kids basically and called the mom. And she came home and he executed, thought he killed all 7, but one little girl lived, 15. She was able to call 911, and they apprehended the guy. And, it's just hard to comprehend that, you know. It's obviously a guy who's local, you know, but I mean, still, how could anybody do such a horrible thing? And I know you guys look at these kinds of things all the time, but that one was particularly disheartening and frightening.
You know, I'll just say this to you. You know, I just got back from the National Sheriff's Conference, you know, a couple of weeks ago, and I went to a class on teen violence, and it was actually Teen Killers is the name of it. But the number of homicides involving teens, and I know this individual is an adult, but, you know, they're growing up. I mean, so we're having it at teenagers out committing terrible homicides. And then you're dealing with these people that are, you know, in their 18 to 20, 21 bracket, 22. But the violence is just unbelievable across this country. And certainly, you know, as the sheriff, That's why I'm concerned with our community. And we got to make sure that we have sufficient manpower and our people are trained to handle and deal with these situations. And it's quite alarming what's going on across our country.
And Billy, we were talking about this earlier about you got the additional mental health issues, which we know a lot of funding has been taken away from that. You've got a lot of people on the streets who are mentally deranged with weapons.
They are probably our greatest challenge out there. I was asked a question about terrorism one time. Is terrorism law enforcement's greatest challenge right now? And my answer was no. It's a serious issue, terrorism, but our greatest challenge for law enforcement is our mental health, is the deranged individuals, the lone gunmen out there, because you can't predict them. They are the ones that you cannot see in what they are going to do, and it's difficult for our citizens because they are the ones that just kill for absolutely no reason.
We won't get this all in this segment. We'll come back to it. But I want to get right to the news about the kiosk, which the new crime prevention kiosk, which was an idea born out of a group of people that the sheriff was a part of. And I know that you've had a coming together of a lot of people, including NoFab, who did the production. You've got Crime Stoppers involved. You've got the business community, CEP, behind it. And I got to tell you that being there last week when I went to that press conference, I'm going to say 250, 275. I don't know how many were there, but a lot of people.
There was well over 200.
Yeah, at least that. And then to hear each speaker get up and talk, and particularly Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, who was lavish in the praise of our community, our law enforcement people, and Sheriff Blair. You don't like me to give you too much credit, but you got a lot of praise for that from her about how she was going to make this story known. She's already putting you on the docket to speak to other states. You better pack your bags and get your outfit ready to go because you're going to be doing some speaking. So you got to be pleased with that. But let's move forward to the most important thing. You've had a result from that kiosk already.
It's unbelievable. I had met with my lieutenants on Monday, and I encouraged them, let's get out. We do have some people wanting in the community. We educated the community through the media that we do have this in existence, a new program with the kiosks, and we were trying to make sure we got it in proper business where we had heavy foot traffic. So with that in mind, they went out, and of course, we already had a list of some locations, but we wanted to see if we could get additional locations. Since then, we've been getting a lot of phone calls. Well, they got out. We got about 65 out there. So one just hit the street within 24 hours, and we got a phone call. Actually, it came through Crime Tippers.
One meaning you got a suspect up on your kiosk.
Right. We put the warrants, on the bottom of the kiosk where it had people wanted on the warrants that the Marion County Sheriff's Office holds. So basically, the guy's on there, the individual on there.
Mugshot and all that?
Mugshot. And so that person calls Crime Stoppers, who in turn, that information gets to law enforcement. We go out, and we've been looking for this individual for a month. And here, within 24 hours after that kiosk is actually put in that location, we're able to take this person into custody. And he had 3 felony warrants on him for trafficking and sale and possession of oxycodone. And as I said, within 24 hours, we got him in custody. So they are going to do great things for this community. I'm telling you that we have business people in this community that are calling us now. They'd like to have this kiosk. Now, I only have 100. But we got 65 out so far in the last 4 days, and there's been some big businesses that have stepped up and said, hey, I want them. And I can tell you, around that 17th Street inside the city, CVS has got one in there now, and I think Burger King has put one in. But, the good thing is if they have someone trespassing and they're not entitled to be in there, we can put that person on there just to know that he's been given a trespass warning. You don't come back in here. So all the employees are going to know he's not to be there. So there's just so many great things we're going to be able to do with this piece of equipment.
I know we talked about technology before, buddy, and this is a perfect example where technology is the benefit to law enforcement. Putting it on there and getting it out, disseminating the information so fast in these kiosks and apprehending the criminals, just like this one that the sheriff has said. The most vital part for us in law enforcement in our investigations is our community. And here you have the community that saw an individual, gave us a call, and they were able to make the arrest. The deputies were able to get out there and get him because a citizen out here was able to use technology that has been put out there for them. You know, it's not necessarily just for us. It's for the community. This is for them to be able to help us.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we got weather. You know, if we have a hurricane coming, you saw it last week. You know, we actually put that on there so we can actually let the people know we got a hurricane coming. Here's the location of it. If we open shelters in the city of Dunellen, the city of Dunellen has 4 kiosks over there. We can actually just put that information that shelters are now open in the city of Dunellen at this particular location. We don't have to put it on all 100 kiosks. We just target just 4. So, which is great, and so it won't tie up all the information.
I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah, we can independently do different kiosks. If the city of Ocala has certain individual they're looking for, and they believe he's inside the city, we could just target it the ones inside the city. And we've been working in great partnership with the city of OPD, the Ocala Police Department, as well as Bellevue and Dunellen. They both jumped on board, and you know, I think the best thing that is important, if I got a second here, is that
we're coming up on break, right? Why don't you hold that thought? We come back. That'll be the first thing we talk about that, and see. We'll get some the police department's input on what their calls are up to. Coming up next, we've got more questions, by the way, for you. Also, right here, we're going to ask the cops on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Because I'm happy that alone if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down.
Hey Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner and the postage stamp and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Hey, it's Tom James. If you just can't get enough of Buddy Martin talking sports on the radio all week, I have the solution for you. Check out his college football column each week on SouthernPigskin.com. That's SouthernPigskin.com. Everything you ever wanted to know about college football in the South.
Your official news source, WOCA.
Fox News Radio, I'm Don Matheson. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he will not yield to international pressure to stop Gaza Strip military operations. More than 100 Palestinians killed.
Israeli forces have been amassed on the Israel-Gaza border. We've seen tanks, armored personnel carriers, and heavy artillery. A UN representative told us today that people are starting to panic buy, meaning they're stocking up and hoarding.
Fox's John Huddy in Gaza City. Palestinians have fired more than 600 rockets at Israel. A mishap at a Centers for Disease Control lab.
I've issued a moratorium on CDC transferring any biological samples out of any BSL-3 or BSL-4 laboratory.
Tom Frieden is the CDC director. Samples of smallpox and anthrax might have exposed some workers. A House committee chair skeptical of the president's request for nearly $4 billion for border control. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When your battery goes out on you, it's like a sucker punch to the gut. But now at Napa, when you buy a new battery, alternator, or starter, you get a Visa rebate card by mail for up to $25. And a Visa rebate card for up to $25 with a new battery? Well, that's like a sucker punch to the gut, but from a really pretty girl. conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. To avoid spending the day on the lake, a man told his family it was infested with sharks, so he could go to Hot Deals of Summer at Golfsmith, where you'll find the lowest prices of any golf store, guaranteed. And it's on dry land. During Hot Deals of Summer, save over $110 on a Garmin S1 GPS watch. Now just $139.98. You'll know exactly how far you are from the green and save a lot too. Only at Golfsmith. Anything.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall. Dr. Assad Kamar presents Dancing with the Doctors 2014 on July 19th. This is one of the premier events of the season, and it's a fundraiser to benefit the Frank DeLuca YMCA and Boys and Girls Club of Marion County. Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss the opportunity to see the elegant, classy, and always fun dancing. Visit dancingwiththedoctors.com to purchase your tickets now. Or for more information, call Bern Pareso at 352-216-5493.
Back to Ask the Cop from Gateway Bank on a Friday. Sheriff Chris Blair and Lieutenant Billy Woods, and we got a breaking news story, Sheriff. This is crazy. I love it when things happen on our cycle. You know, good story. Give us what you just taken.
You witnessed it. You know,
I did.
I'm sitting here.
I saw you kind of have a big smile break out on your face.
Well, you know, I'm excited about it. You know, the phone rang, and it was my public information officer. You know, Jimmy Pogue and Captain Pogue, and so he calls and said, "Hey, breaking news here. We just had an individual turn himself in to the jail. Had an outstanding warrant on him. She actually saw herself on the kiosk at one of the local locations here that we had just put the kiosk in yesterday. So
fast food place?
Yeah, fast food. So unbelievable.
Wow. So in other words, nobody had to do anything.
Nothing.
And her picture was on this fast food kiosk at this fast food place, and she saw it, and she turned herself in?
Went to the jail and turned herself in.
It's a great bit of police work.
Can't beat that, right? Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, but, that's amazing. So that's two already now.
Hey, we got two, so we'll just keep on moving along and just trying to keep the community safe. And, you know, like I said, you know, it's a partnership. And I left off, you know, with the most important thing here is that, you know, if you look at the kiosk and the people in the community get to look at it, you know, there's a seal on the bottom of that. And I don't know if you recognize that, but on there is 3 badges and a star, and it represents the Ocala Police Department, Dunelm Police Department, Bellevue, and the Sheriff's Office, because we're partners in this, and it's so important that we share these kiosks so that we can make sure that we keep the entire Marion County safe, as well as all the cities within the county.
And I know he means this because we were preparing a story running in the Downtown Neighbors magazine. One of the things he was concerned about, making sure he didn't get too much credit for it, Billy.
Right.
Well, he wanted to make sure that the police department's got it.
Well, you know, we got quotes from all the chiefs and Pam Bondi. I just think it's, you know, you got to buy into it. It's just so important to make sure that we're all on board with the the same goal to make sure that we're going to do the right thing here.
The very same thing we talked about yesterday, and you don't have to comment on this. Tom Schmitz broke a story earlier in the week about some discord between the city council and the city hall, what was going on, and et cetera. We don't know the details of that yet, but and Angie Lewis and I talked about this yesterday, and she said it's important to have unity in what you're doing. And what's ironic is that 2 years ago, we made a trip to to Georgia with the city manager to look at two towns, how they were doing their downtown. And the one message that resonated in both places in Georgia was you have to all be on the same page. Unity, unity, unity. And there's an example what you're talking about. It's not one of those territorial things about who's trying to get the credit, but 3 police departments and the sheriff's office want to make sure everybody work together, and I commend you both for doing that.
No, I appreciate that, and I think we actually partner with the community economic partners.
CEP and of course OFAB and Crime Stoppers, right?
And I just think it's so important to bring everybody together, and I think it was well demonstrated at the unveiling of this. We had well over 200 as we spoke before, so we're going to do great things in this community. I really believe it.
Especially when they keep turning themselves in. That's really good.
Makes it easy.
I got time for some questions from the internet, and also I believe we have Hugh on the line now.
No,
Hugh, there?
Hugh's not on. Hugh there? Yeah, Hugh's here. Okay.
Okay. All right, Tom, you got your questions next. So let's go to the hotline and talk to one of our favorite people. Hugh, how you doing, Hugh?
Very good. Thank you, and good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
It's summertime. The kids are out of school, so I'd like to know if there's a loud noise ordinance in Ocala or Marion County for automobiles or residential homes.
Very interesting question there, Hugh. The noise violation has been found unconstitutional, so it has become extremely difficult for us here in Marion County and throughout the state to be able to enforce the loud music. Hey, I'm right there with you, Hugh. I can't stand it when somebody's sitting next to me and I can't even hear my own music in my own car. Until we get legislation on board about this and coming up with something that's enacted that we can take it under control, basically.
So there's really nothing you can do. Would it be possible to have an officer come to, let's say, a home, if that's the problem, and knock on the door and ask them to quiet it down a little bit? Do you think that would help?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to go to. I think it's very important, this Sheriff Blair, it's very important to just give us a call and at least let us try to fix the situation. And I think that if it's handled in a professional manner, I think we can get that accomplished.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, I'll wait for your internet questions. Let me just get this annual fireworks question out there for you again. I ask it every year. And I get that people want to celebrate, and I'm good with that, and I understand it. But what's a little annoying is when people decide to shoot the firecrackers off at 2 o'clock in the morning, continue to do that, or do it the next day again, or whatever, And not just me, but I have animals. Animals just go berserk when they hear this stuff. So I don't know. I would never call the cops on my neighbors for having a fireworks thing, but what do you do in something like that?
No, it's tough.
Neither one of you guys want to answer it all of a sudden. It's a hot potato,
Well, I think what's important is that, everybody's going to enjoy 4th of July, and I think it's just you got to use discretion and some common sense. And, if you got people out there that you can identify that are actually doing that, certainly as the noise ordinance, we can go by there and have a conversation with them and ask them to cease. And try to do the right thing there. And I understand the animal thing. I got horses too, and certainly you got to be concerned with them running around, running wild, and going through fences. And I have a dog that huddles up, and you've seen her on the billboard. So she's scared to death of lightning and thunder. So
Mine too.
She'll get under the bed or climb in the closet. So all those things affect the animals. So it's just common sense.
Is there a law of any kind though about fireworks?
In the city, we have an ordinance in violation of them, shooting them off, firing them off.
I can understand if you're in the country, okay? I get that. But if you're in the city, is there what is the law? Do you know, Billy?
Not specifically off the top of my head.
Right.
I wish I could give it to you. It becomes difficult for us because, like you've already said, so many people do it. So we'd be responding every time we turn around to every house, almost every house in the city.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult enforcement for us just because of the volume.
And I'm talking about, again, and we'll belabor this thing, because I'm talking about people who want to shoot them off till midnight and celebrate and whatever, and for 20, 30, whatever. But now again at 2:30 or 3 o'clock, that's a little over the top, So anyway,
courtesy.
Yeah, I guess it's always going to be my gripe on the holiday.
The only thing to do is to call us and let us respond.
Note to self: take all leftover fireworks to Buddy's house tonight and shoot them off at 3 in the morning. Okay.
You don't have to worry about me, but Miss Johnny may be happy in your face.
I'd run a long enough fuse, and I'd be out of there before you knew who did it, Pat. Wait, I just told you who would do it. Never mind.
You fessed up.
I think there's motivation here, Sheriff. What do you think?
I think he needs to go on the kiosk. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey,
I've checked every picture up there.
Yeah, I've checked every kiosk I've walked by to see if my picture was up there. Thank you.
Have to have the wide screen.
We'd want you to turn yourself in just like we have others doing.
I would do that, actually. Okay, here's the question off the internet. This is from Jeremy. He says, "What is the rule on yellow lights turning red when I'm already turning? If I'm already in the middle of the intersection when the light turns yellow then red, have I run the light by completing my turn?"
Here's the rule, and it's simple. There's that big white stop bar. If the light is yellow, when you have passed the white stop bar and you've entered the intersection, you have control of the intersection, so you have not run the red light. You run the red light is when those front tires are behind the white stop bar and the light changes. Once you pass that, the light changes, and then you have run it. Simple.
I never knew that.
Well, that came from a traffic guy, so he knew
He knows
exactly what that was.
Yeah, I never knew that one. It's amazing. I learned something today on the show. What else you got, Tom?
That was the only question we've got on the internet today so far.
Okay, all right. Well, if anybody wants to call real fast, we've got a couple of minutes. I'm about out of time. All right. So what's happening at the shop? Anything going on down at the police department you want to talk about? Any news, any promotions, anything that we need to be caught up on?
No, right now we're holding the same.
Yeah.
We had one interesting one. There's one interesting call in here, and I'd probably all of us sitting here well, I hope you haven't, Christian. At the table, we did arrest a 12-year-old girl who first helped her mother cook supper and helped her put her to sleep, then, get her to go to bed after a hard day's work. She then decided to go out for a joyride, and we caught her.
Okay.
12-year-old.
Not so much joy.
Was that the girl? Was that the girl that was doing 52 in a 35?
You got it, Tom.
I'd just like to throw a good positive comment for a couple of my guys. Deputy Tussey and Amadei. They're the ones that they're in the warrant section, and they're the ones that took that Crime Stopper lead. And you got to remember that it's so important for these guys once they get it that they do their homework and they follow up. I mean, if it sits on the desk, we're not going to accomplish things. So, I just want to give them credit for doing such a great job. And actually, they'll set history now because they're the first two that actually went out there and apprehended the first individual on that piece of equipment. So I just want to throw that out that I certainly, as the sheriff, and I'm sure the community appreciates their efforts.
They're going to be like a trivia question now. You can ask, who got the first arrest off the kiosk?
That could be. It could be.
Yeah. Well, those things are awesome. And for those who are just tuning in, the new sheriff's and police department's crime prevention kiosk up and around. How many 100 of them you got right now?
We have
65 are out there.
65 are out.
And you caught two people. One of them they turned themselves in. And these will be placed around the city, around the county. What should someone do if they live somewhere and they think a high crime area and they'd like to see one in the local business? What do they do?
Well, they just notify Ben Adams. He's a crime specialist that we have at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. He's the one in charge of the kiosk. So you can just do the 732-8181 number and just ask for Ben Adams and Deputy Adams, and he will certainly look at that. But what we're looking for, Buddy, is high traffic areas. Right. And so we can hit businesses like, the mall itself, which we actually have one out there. We're looking at some additional ones out there. We're looking at the courthouse. We got the libraries now covered. We're looking at the tag offices. I think we just got approval for those. Utility locations where people pay their electric bill. So a lot of those are getting these pieces of equipment. It's all about high traffic so that
More people can see it.
That's what we want. We want people to be able to see it. And if we have an emergency here in Marion County or the city of Ocala, Dunnone, or Bellevue, we're going to put it out there.
Predator, Amber Alert, those things are all part of it.
So much, all part of it. All help.
First one I saw, buddy, was in Mojo's, of all places.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there last night having dinner with the family, and there was one right there. I didn't see your photo on it, though.
No, thank goodness.
I looked.
It's early. The weekend's coming up.
Buddy, I did forget one event. Cops, Kids, and Firefighters Day is on July 18th at 1 p.m. at MLK Junior Park's Webb Field. We got going on. I forgot to mention that, and that's something to go out there and enjoy the events for the kids so they can come out and meet.
Next Friday?
Yes, next Friday.
Next Friday. Where's it located again?
It will be at the MLK Junior Park's Webb Field. Old Webb Field.
Field. There was a great baseball player who played out there at one time.
Exactly right.
It was actually Webb Stadium then. Yep. And Webb Stadium was where I played football in high school. There should be a plaque out there someplace. I don't know.
I believe there is.
Not.
I haven't been out there away. When I was in Little League, I played over there at Webb Field.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Tom. We're going to wrap up this segment. Come back. We'll touch bases one more time with the sheriff and lieutenant on Ask the Cops. Stay tuned. Coming more your way right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Proper Teas Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Proper Teas Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Proper Teas Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at thepropertees.com for more information.
Are you a business owner looking for a new and innovative way to reach consumers by thinking outside of the box? Well, here's a great new idea that thinks inside the box. Value Box. Value Box is a beautiful recipe box that features your business's profile on the front of recipe cards with a personal recipe on the back. With Value Box, a business's name can stay in front of their customers for years. They also offer an app for your iPhone or iPad for those who cook in the 21st century. So if it's time for your business to think outside the box to reach consumers, start by thinking inside the box with Value Box. For more information, you can contact Chuck Henderson of Value Box USA at 352-433-5301. That's 352-433-5301. Or by email, chuck@valueboxusa.com.
Alice?
Yes, George?
I'm royalty at Devon Self-Storage now on Highway 200 across from Hobby Lobby. It says so right here in this letter.
George, I read that letter too, and it's Devon's loyalty rewards. Pay 3 months in advance, get 5% off. Pay 6 months in advance, get 7% off. Pay 12 months in advance and get 10% off.
See, Alice, Devon Self-Storage treats me like royalty. Just call them at 873-0777.
Yes, George, yes.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Time to touch on a couple of things before we wrap it up, gentlemen, for the day. And there's a follow-up to that story of the woman, in case you're just tuning in. The kiosks are up. There's 65 of them in the community now. They've had one arrest early this week, and now the novelty was that this woman walked into a fast food restaurant, saw her picture, turned herself in, and now there's more data about this woman.
Well, I think the important thing for everyone to know, she had 2 misdemeanors and 1 felony warrant. So
she's just walking around as a felon now, too.
Yeah. So, she saw herself, and she knew it was time to give it up.
I wonder what the psychology is about a felon seeing themselves. Think about it. Not just a picture, but seeing.
I guarantee you it has some kind of impact.
Obviously.
And so I'm sure she left.
She was like at that breaking point, and that finally was it. And, hey, you think about, well, okay, good, that's a piece of cake. But then about the times you get the ones that don't want to go easy, and the gun battles you do with people, and the SWAT teams you got to call out, you never know, do you, which one's going to be.
That's true.
You don't. It'd make a good master's research paper.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
I think I'll go to college and write it. You had a promotion down at the cop shop down there.
Yeah, well, it seems like I got to cover for my chief. He's not here, so
he's a lot to cover for, but that's all right.
He is. But we still like him.
Yeah,
we still
absolutely.
Like him. Yeah,
good
my
man.
buddy Sergeant Russ Kern. We were hired on the same day. He got promoted to lieutenant. Doesn't come effective until August 3rd. But he will be a lieutenant on that day and be over.
Single bar and everything up there, too?
Single bar, like what's on my shoulders.
How about that? How long you had those?
5 years.
5 years. So you got 5 years on your buddy there, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Senior officer. Well, congratulations to him.
That's exactly right. Congratulations to Russ Kern.
Yeah, and congratulations to your staff, Chris, and what you've done with this kiosk. That's a wonderful thing. I know you've got a lot of other plans, which hopefully you can share with us down the road someplace.
Absolutely. I think we got a lot of potential in these pieces of equipment out there to continue to keep the community safe. And real quick, we got time. Yarnell Bagley, age 20. He was. We had warrants on him for armed robbery. He's a suspect in a homicide. He was taken into custody. He was found hidden in an attic inside the city here. So the guys did a great job taking him into custody without incident. So another dangerous individual. This is the same one that escaped from the county jail.
Is this guy from Citra, or is it?
Yeah, he's from Citra, but he's the one as a juvenile escaped a couple times from the jail. So here again, he's involved in criminal activity in our community, but. So we'll keep an eye on and see where it goes.
It's every time you do that, the streets become a little bit safer when you those folks talk. Thanks a lot, Sheriff. Thanks for
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, too. Coming up next, LeBron is going home. We'll talk about it on Buddy Sports page. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
But you walked across my heart like it was Texas. You taught me how to say.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Hello, everybody. I'm Buddy Martin, and it's on. The college football countdown is underway, and I'll be reporting all week from SEC Media Days in Hoover, Alabama, thanks to the sponsorship of Angie Lewis State Farm Agency and the Joe and Darla Priest team at Coldwell Banker Ellison Realty. Check us out as we broadcast live from Radio Row with the Southern Pigskin Radio team. And don't miss my columns on southernpigskin.com. Football's here. Game on.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Each time we tell even a small white lie, we get a boost in stress that directly impacts our health. So when is it better to use a debit card? If you tend to overspend, when you can't actually see the money you're spending, it is easy to get carried away and rack up huge charges that may be difficult to pay back. Good middle ground is to address somebody the way they introduce themselves to you. So if you say, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Ferguson," then stick with the Mrs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey everybody, this is Kelly Hart, your new host of the Ocala Magazine radio show. Join me every Friday at 10 a.m. when we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life with in-depth interviews from and about your community. So don't miss Marion County's favorite city magazine, Ocala Magazine, every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, @yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Don Matheson. A magnitude 6.8 earthquake strikes off the northern coast of Japan. Authorities issuing a tsunami advisory.
This particular earthquake that just occurred is within the aftershock zone of the magnitude 9. It's approximately 130 kilometers to the south of the magnitude 9 that occurred back in 2011.
Susan Hoover is a geophysicist with the U.S. Geological Survey. A message from the head of Homeland Security during a visit to the U.S. southern border.
That message is that things are changing.
We're beginning repatriations next week.
Jay Johnson spoke from a new facility in New Mexico that can hold up to 700 people. Other facilities are being set up in Texas.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Israel will continue military operations against Gaza militants. More than 100 Palestinians killed. Pro-Palestinian demonstrations in London and Paris. Fox News. We report, you decide.
When your battery goes out on you, it's like a sucker punch to the gut. But now at Napa, when you buy a new battery, alternator, or starter, you get a Visa rebate card by mail for up to $25. And a Visa rebate card for up to $25 with a new battery? Well, that's like a sucker punch to the gut, but from a really pretty girl. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. To avoid spending the day on the lake, a man told his family it was infested with sharks, so he could go to Hot Deals of Summer at Golfsmith, where you'll find the lowest prices of any golf store, guaranteed. And it's on dry land. During Hot Deals of Summer, save over $110 on a Garmin S1 GPS watch. Now just $139.98. You'll know exactly how far you are from the green and save a lot too. Only at Golfsmith.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the pool house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome back to the program. Time now for Buddy Sports Page. It's the Friday Drive. That means it's time to talk to our friend Chris Spears. I saw him the other morning. Maybe it was this morning. I forget. At Wolfie's. And Chris, didn't get a chance to visit with you then, but I'm glad we can visit now.
Yes, sir. Yes, I seen you in the passing there, but regular good, nice little meeting spot and a good business that they have. But as far as the Prestige, we've had another blessed and busy week. Last month we had, I think, 64 new families that we were able to help get nicer, newer cars. And quite frankly, I'm sitting here with in my office with my internet manager Mark, who's just been jamming all day long, trying to get pictures of our newest arrivals to get them listed online so that folks can see them. And you direct, as you always do gracefully, you direct a lot of people to our website, and they're calling in and asking about financing, and helped the young lady from up at Alachua today get a car. She had less than $1,000 a month income, and all the national lenders, they have like $1,600 minimums and stuff like that. And asked me, if I come to Ocala, can you help me get a car? And she drove home her Nissan Altima about 30 minutes ago. So I love to see people who get in a little bit of a pinch because other folks tell them that they don't fit into their box of what they can and can't do. And it's always nice to help those people get what they want, even though they don't fit what the national market says is the criteria.
Well, that's good news because I felt a little sorry for you, Chris, and I saw your website. It says road trip. Everyone's on vacation except me. I've got my hotel room booked and my sunscreen packed, but I can't go anywhere with all these cars sitting around here. So least you're getting some of them moved, right?
Yeah, we get our goal. Dad's going to slip away. The kids go back to school in almost a month at St. John's, and but we've got to get some stuff out of here. We was selling as many cars as we did last month. We had an enormous amount of trade-ins and stuff. So I am trying to get a little late spring cleaning done around here. Get some of these trade-ins moved out, and I just posted about. Well, I can't tell you, buddy, how many cars we've gotten in the last 2 weeks, but we just had a crazy amount of inventory come in and even more satisfactorily go out. I think I've purchased about 40 cars in the last 15 days, and we're just blessed. People are coming in and going to the website, prestigeforyou.com, and unfortunately, there's enough people out there that are being told by the big box stores why they don't qualify. But gracefully, a lot of them are just saying, "Go see Chris, go see Chris, go see Chris." And I've got the campus and the Florida Credit Union and the Wells Fargo. I've got that 199 and 29 money like everybody puts on the billboards, but that's the easy ones to fix. It's those folks that are being talked down to and being told that they don't qualify or they need 40% down. That's where we seem to fill the gap for a lot of families around here.
Hey, that's why I nicknamed you the Yes Man a couple of years ago. You are the Yes Man. Am I reading this right? I'm taking up to $3,711 off the sale price of a newer, nicer car. Am I reading that right?
So when you've got as much stuff as I've got around here in cars, just absolutely everywhere. You come around here and walk around with me. I take people. They see all the stuff sitting here and there, and I say, let's go look over around this corner. I've actually got an acre and a half property around the corner from us where we're parking additional inventory. So it's yes, sir. I'm buying nice cars, but you know what I say about nice cars? Yeah. I don't buy them to what?
Sounds to me like you're getting ready for a big.
I don't buy them to keep.
Yes, you don't buy them to keep, exactly. And sounds to me like you got ready for a big tire kicking party. Go out and get a tire kicking tour from Chris. He's got an acre and a half full of cars. They're nice. He doesn't want to keep them. He wants to sell them. He'll make you a deal. He's the yes man. He'll get you finance and get it all, the one-stop shopping right there. Go to the website, prestigeforyou.com. That's prestige, number 4u.com. Look at some of their vehicles and give them a call. They'll be glad to fix you up this weekend. Chris, you have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. 694-1234. And thanks for your time, buddy, and I appreciate all your support.
Thank you. PrestigeForYou.com. Prestige Auto, 2 locations to serve you. All right, Tom Schmitz, we got some big headlines today. If we had a newspaper, we'd have a gigantic headline. I see a couple of front pages, including the Cleveland paper, and it happened. I'm sure most everybody in the world knows it, but if you haven't heard about it by now, you're getting out of work and you're opening up the car door and turning on the radio and thinking, what is going on? Well, I would say the impossible dream has come to Cleveland, Tom.
LeBron is heading back to Cleveland. The 4-time league MVP told SI.com on Friday he is returning to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sources told ESPN.com's Chris Broussard it's a 4-year deal for the max of $88 million. LeBron told SI.com in a first-person essay, "My relationship with Northeast Ohio is bigger than basketball. I didn't realize that 4 years ago. I do now." So LeBron James back to Cleveland, buddy.
Yes, it's a big story in sports. It is off the charts big in Ohio, that's for sure.
On another note in the headlines, Minnesota Timberwolves forward Kevin Love says, "I'm intrigued by the idea of being traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers and would commit long-term to the team," a source close to the situation told Mark Stein of ESPN.com. The Cavaliers have opened up talks by offering guard Dion Waiters, forward Anthony Bennett, and a first-round pick to the Timberwolves in exchange for Love. Love said, yeah, I'd go. I'd be interested in going. Boy, I bet he would, being that he'd pair with Kyrie Irving, 4-time MVP LeBron James, and, incoming rookie Andrew Wiggins. I bet he does want to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, looking good now. Here's the thing. Here are the odds in Las Vegas. I think we talked about it earlier. The Bulls are 7-1, Thunder 4-1, Spurs 4-1, Cavs 3-1, the favorite to win the NBA title. Wow. It seems like he turned the whole program along, the whole franchise around. That's going to be a huge deal in anywhere. It's one of the stories of the year. Let's hope it turns out to have a happy ending for folks in Cleveland.
Well, not so fast, my friend. Don't give it to Cleveland yet, because the Houston Rockets believe they will have a signature soon from Chris Bosh to sign with the team after Miami Heat teammate LeBron James said he's leaving to return to Cleveland. The Rockets made a max offer to Bosh, 4 years, $88 million. The Rockets' plan is now complete as they complete their agreed-upon trade with Omar Asik of the New Orleans Pelicans, and they're going to trade away point guard Jeremy Lin. That leaves only re-signing Chandler Parsons, who they believe they'll be able to match the offer by the Dallas Mavericks. And, buddy, you got Chandler Parsons, Chris Bosh, James Harden, and Dwight Howard. That's a pretty good four. Now you get a point guard.
A lot of firepower.
You get a point guard there, because you got the inside game of Howard, the outside game of Bosh, Harden with the wing play, Chandler Parsons opening up the floor by banging down jump shots and three-pointers. Houston's going to be formidable if Chris Bosh goes to Houston.
I think you're right, Tom.
Also, the Green Bay Packers say there's no plans to retire Brett Favre's number 4 jersey this coming season. They say their relationship with Favre and the organization is very strong, but they don't anticipate having him retire a number this season in a game or at a game this year. We have very good relations, very good communications. It's just not going to happen this year. The two sides had discussed a possible return last season, but Favre pulled out because he was afraid of the reaction he might receive from the Lambeau faithful. So, if you're looking for Brett Favre, Linda, if you're out there listening, if you're looking for the Brett Favre retired number day, not going to happen this year. Finally, buddy, the streak is over. Clayton Kershaw gave up one run last night as he won 2-1 over the San Diego Padres. He finished with a 3-hitter, 11 strikeouts, but he did give up a run, bringing to an end a 41-inning streak of runless baseball pitched by Clayton Kershaw. He won his 8th straight start and came within 18 innings of the Major League record, held by, of course, Dodgers right-hander Oral Hershiser, who threw 59 consecutive shutout innings in 88. But 41 shutout innings is an amazing number of shutout innings and 8 wins in a row, buddy. Clayton Kershaw may be the best pitcher in baseball.
It very well may be. Okay, there's a very happy guy who's not in Cleveland, but a guy who's called the shots all along. We disagree with him on this. I believe we're even now. I won the steak dinner on the fact that Tiger wouldn't win a major last year, and now I've got a even bet, a bet with our friend down in Orlando from Local 6, Dave Pingalore. I bet him that LeBron would not go to Cleveland. He was right. I was wrong. We'll hook up with him and let David crow a little bit about his prediction. Coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, I'm Darla Priest of Coldwell Banker Ellison Realty, and Joe and I believe in the team concept. That's why we're happy to be on Buddy Martin's team for sponsorship of his SEC Media Days report live from Hoover, Alabama. When it comes to real estate, however, we know the score at Coldwell Banker Ellison Realty. To speak with our team captain, call me, Darla Priest, 352-816-0887.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me.
Back to the sports page. I just received this tweet, Adam Schefter. He says, normally Disney is the happiest place in the world. Today, it's Cleveland. And I would probably concur with that, and I think this guy will concur. He's been calling this shot now for a long time. Dave Pingalore, Local 6, step up and take a bow, my man. You were right.
Well, yeah, we talked last week, but I've always thought and, basically was told from people that were very close to LeBron just a couple of years ago that they were unhappy in Miami. They're Akron guys, they're Akron kids, Cleveland guys, they all grew up there, and his group of friends, been with him since his early days growing up in Akron, went with him to Miami, and they just didn't find it a good fit to live there. They thought the city of Miami, I think we talked about this last week, was very passionate about the basketball team there because, half the population there is very diversified. And so they didn't really follow the Miami Heat like they do in Cleveland. So I think it's been I think ever since, he probably went to Miami, he knew he was going to come back. That would be the right situation. I do believe if the Heat did win the championship this year, though, they would have gone for 4 in a row, and it wouldn't have been this year. They would have gone to Cleveland. So Cleveland fans get a break by the Spurs knocking out the Heat.
Well, I don't have a dog in this fight, but and you can argue one way or the other about it being the right thing or the mistake that he made by going there and so on. But he got those 2 rings, and then he's got his credentials, and he's got his rings, which takes the pressure off. I think LeBron deserves a lot of credit, and he wrote this in his letter to Sports Illustrated. It wasn't just about basketball, and it wasn't just about the rings. It's about going home to your community to do something for your community, and people got to understand this is a huge industry. LeBron James is going to make people millions and millions of dollars just by driving the business, and you know this, David, downtown Cleveland, which is going to come to life again. And this whole economy, this LeBron James economy, I'm anxious to see what he's going to be generating, but it's going to be well into the millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, well, there's no question, because, again, they become relevant again. I mean, I've worked and covered LeBron and the Cavs for 2.5 seasons. Him coming back, I mean, the downtown area, again, will be vibrant. I mean, look, if they were not a good NBA team, so they were just another NBA team in the wheel. Now they become the best team over the next 10 years in the Eastern Conference again. As long as it looks like he's probably just going to end his career there over the next 8 to 10 years, as long as he can play. But yeah, it just revitalizes Cleveland once again, and just knowing people, the type of people that live there now. They're probably dancing in the streets. They're crying. I mean, like, I can only imagine what it's like just knowing how passionate of a fan base that they have there. And now that, it's funny, they burned the guys' jerseys 4 years ago, but now, they're probably, they're out buying his jerseys again. So he's definitely turned the corner with fans in Cleveland. And I'm telling you, they're crying. They're crying in the streets.
Fans are so fickle. They were burning his jersey, as you said, and all Dan Gilbert's letter and all that stuff. Suddenly it all changes. And now we're listening to the fans from Miami, where they asked one of the guys and Miami fans, I'm sorry, they're about the most bogus fans, sports fans on earth. I've said this for 40 years. Miami's been one of the worst sports cities in America for as long as I can remember. And I covered a lot of sporting events down there, including the Dolphins. But I got a kick. I didn't get a kick. Kind of felt sad for the fact that all of a sudden these guys are trashing LeBron. And they asked some guy who was worked in a health club or something. Said, "What do you like? What would you like to see happen to LeBron?" I hope he chokes on his rings. I mean, be a little grateful, man. The guy won you two NBA championships.
Yeah, and it was his right to do what he's done. I mean, he has a contract; he can opt out, and he's a free agent. He can go wherever he wants, so he has that right. I mean, he did it when he went to Miami. Now he's going back to Cleveland, and basically, as he said, he wasn't going to go wasn't going to go anywhere else but Cleveland. But he would have stayed in Miami, so he wasn't going to the Lakers, the Knicks. It was never about that. So, Cleveland is back on the map when it comes to Cavalier basketball again.
Dave Pingalore, go ahead, Tom. You have a question?
Yeah, we're talking with Dave Pingalore of Channel Local 6 News. Dave, I asked Buddy this, and he thought that it had to happen before the press conference. When do you think, because I believe it has to happen, do you think it has to happen, and when do you think it will happen, that Dan Gilbert publicly apologizes for the comments he called LeBron a coward and a quitter? Does he have to publicly apologize for that to make all right with Cleveland?
That's a great question, because they all felt the same way, though. So I'm sure he will, but all those fans felt the same way that the letter that Dan Gilbert put on their website 4 years ago. So they were all, they were burning the guys' jerseys. Do they have to apologize to LeBron for doing that? I mean, look, you're the owner of the team. You pay him the max contract of $20 million a year. I get what he did. It was emotional. LeBron probably would say he didn't handle it well, and he has said that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's good to have him. I mean, maybe he comes out. Good to have him back. Sorry for what we wrote. We already set that aside, and that's basically what LeBron wrote in that essay.
My favorite tweet of the day came from Dan Gilbert. He quoted his 8-year-old son of saying, "Daddy, does this mean I can wear my LeBron jersey again?" And that's right. That sums it up, doesn't it?
I saw that tweet. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Gilbert's franchise is now the best franchise in the Eastern Conference. So, now they got all those young kids. It looks like they're trying to make a play for Kevin Love and a trade to Minnesota, maybe for Wiggins. So, it's a crazy story. It was an interesting story to follow. It's interesting. All those people. If you would have gone based on my knowledge 2 months ago and gone and bought a bunch of season tickets for the Cavs game,
yeah,
done pretty well in the secondary market.
Yeah, you call that shot. And just one more thing, David, before I let you go. I don't know if you read LeBron's letter in Sports Illustrated or not. If you did or you didn't, I was very impressed with how he opened it up. Where he wrote, before anyone ever cared where I would play basketball, I was a kid from Northeast Ohio. It's where I walked. It's where I ran. It's where I cried. It's where I bled. It holds a special place in my heart. People there have seen me grow up. I sometimes feel like I'm their son. So he went on to talk about why he's doing this. And how do you think this where does this put LeBron in the context of athletes in terms of becoming a hero in more ways than one, especially to the hometown people? Because I don't ever remember, David, in my many years in this business, of a great athlete, the best in the sport, at the peak of his career, going to a franchise just to go back to his home. Do you?
Well, the stars really have to line up for that. How many guys live in cities that are as passionate as Cleveland is, and that they are the best athlete in the world to play there? There have been athletes that probably played in their hometown. He is by far the best, one of the best ever to put an NBA uniform on. So it's a little different, so you got to grow up in a town like that with an NBA team, and you can't really judge that, because I can't even think of somebody on the top of my head of Michael Jordan. I mean, he grew up in North Carolina, went to North Carolina. I don't. You can't really
nothing
judge
like
that.
it.
I mean, Cleveland.
Nothing like it.
I mean, LeBron was a phenom, coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all knew about him before anybody else knew about him in Cleveland, Akron area. So, look, what you just read and what he wrote in his essay just really sums up what I was saying a couple years ago when I was talking to people very close to him, how they felt about going back to Northeast Ohio. I mean, what he just said is what they've told me 2 years ago.
You got it right, exactly. And thanks for spending some time with us. Congratulations on your call. Listen to Dave Pinkelhorn tonight. Watch him on Local 6, see what he has to say.
No, I will not be on tonight.
You're not on tonight? Okay, well, listen to Local 6 anyway. David, thank you so much. We're out of time and coming up against the break, but appreciate your time. Congratulations on the call on LeBron. Thank you. All right, Dave Pinkelhorn, Local 6. He called the shot, and I guess tomorrow we'll have J.J. LaSalvo on to talk more about it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll catch up with other news in sports. Joe Williams coming to talk college football. Stay tuned to Buddy Sports Face.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself. Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Fox News Radio, I'm Don Matheson. A magnitude 6.8 earthquake strikes off the northern coast of Japan, authorities issuing a tsunami advisory.
This particular earthquake that just occurred is within the aftershock zone of the magnitude 9. It's approximately 130 kilometers to the south of the magnitude 9 that occurred back in 2011.
Susan Hoover is a geophysicist with the U.S. Geological Survey. A message from the head of Homeland Security during a visit to the U.S. southern border.
That message is that things are changing.
We're beginning repatriations next week.
Jay Johnson spoke from a new facility in New Mexico that can hold up to 700 people. Other facilities are being set up in Texas.
Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Israel will continue military operations against Gaza militants. More than 100 Palestinians killed. Pro-Palestinian demonstrations in London and Paris. Fox News. We report, you decide.
When your battery goes out on you, it's like a sucker punch to the gut. But now at Napa, when you buy a new battery, alternator, or starter, you get a Visa rebate card by mail for up to $25. And a Visa rebate card for up to $25 with a new battery? Well, that's like a sucker punch to the gut, but from a really pretty girl. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. To avoid spending the day on the lake, a man told his family it was infested with sharks, so he could go to Hot Deals of Summer at Golfsmith, where you'll find the lowest prices of any golf store, guaranteed. And it's on dry land. During Hot Deals of Summer, save over $110 on a Garmin S1 GPS watch. Now just $139.98. You'll know exactly how far you are from the green and save a lot too. Only at Golfsmith.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dave Wolverton. He's one of the writers of the Future Anthology Awards, and he's coming up to speak to us about the idea that science fiction precedes technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then automobile expert Matt Gibbs will be here from Sunrise Automotive answering all of your car care questions.
Have all of your political questions answered by U.S. Representative Richard Nugent.
And then Jerry Ferris-Finger will be on with us. She's a reporter, a researcher, and an editor, and she's written a book called The Devil Laughed, a Mariah Drew Richard Lake mystery novel.
Dr. Rod Noy is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and a PGA Tour doctor. He'll be speaking about the Wakefield Research Survey. Joint concerns do not discriminate with age or gender.
All of that plus fun with Joe on Mondays, AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Attention! Anyone interested in buying a new Chevrolet at GM supplier pricing or lower, turn up your radio now. The Red, White, and Boom sale starts now at Palm Chevrolet of Ocala. We've been instructed by General Motors to eliminate hundreds of new Chevrolets at GM supplier pricing or lower. You pay less than we pay, with no hassles or negotiations. The price you see is the price you pay on hundreds of new Chevrolets at GM supplier pricing or lower. 0 down on every new Chevy. No payments for 90 days. 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, Palm Chevrolet of Ocala will take any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And only Palm Chevrolet of Ocala gives you 2 years of free maintenance on every new and certified vehicle. Get GM supplier pricing or lower. No money down, no payments for 90 days. 0% financing for 72 months. During the Red, White, and Boom sales event. Only at Palm Chevrolet of Ocala. 2300 Southwest College Road, exit 350. Just east of I-75 in beautiful Ocala. Or visit palmchevrolet.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand finance. Excludes Corvettes plus title license with new roads. Palmchevrolet.com.
Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up.
This whole fallout from the LeBron thing is going to be going on for a while now. All the free agency is up in the air. Where are these other guys going to go? Tom and I have discussed several scenarios today. What's going to happen to Carmelo Anthony? Who's going to will Houston go after sign Chris Bosh?
Dominoes are falling.
And you know what's interesting? A couple things that you can read between the lines, like we probably should have done whenever LeBron James' wife, is her name Savannah? Is that her name?
Yes.
Had that mysterious tweet at the end of the season about home sweet home and how good it was to be home. And it's, no big deal. They're going to go on vacation. Obviously, there's some things going on there, Tom, more than we knew from that tweet. This has been obviously something they've thought about for a while.
Well, yeah, and they were all, like you said, Ohio, like Ping said, Ohio people. They weren't really South Beach, what they. And South Beach is a different thing. Miami's a different place. If you're not used to that kind of lifestyle and all, and you're more Midwest guy, which is the Ohio type that LeBron James is, South Beach could be quite a culture shock.
I think Dwayne Wade has become more of a South Beach guy. And he seems to enjoy that lifestyle.
But he was raised in Chicago. Chicago's different than Akron.
True, but now there's talk about him going back to Chicago. And supposedly the report today written by an NBA writer from CBS that the Bulls are gauging interest in Dwayne Wade. The Wade just looks crippled to me, and he's been a great player. He's obviously on the downside of his career. He's got some basketball there. I don't think if they get Derrick Rose, obviously, Wade is sort of being an addition to the roster, and someone who could help Derrick Rose and some of those young players would be great. But $42 million he's owed over 2 years.
No, he's not owed that, buddy.
Well, not now.
He opted out. That's the thing. That's the story nobody's talking about.
That's the point.
Dwayne Wade.
If he opted out for 42, what does he think he's worth?
But Dwayne Wade opted out. Nobody's going to pay him near $21 million a year like he was owed by the Miami Heat. He opted out the last 2 years of his contract. He's lost somewhere probably, because he'll probably make about $10 million a year now, so he's lost probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $20, $25 million. But not only him, Udonis Haslem opted out as well at $4.5 million. Now he's not going to make anywhere near that money. It looks like LeBron James, for all intents and purposes, and we don't know the backstory, left Dwayne Wade and Udonis Haslem holding the bag after he talked to them, after they opted out of money they were guaranteed if they'd have stayed in Miami.
Let me put it this way. Pat Riley doesn't have a salary cap problem.
No, he does not. But Dwayne Wade and Udonis Haslem, you got to think that they were thinking that they were either going where LeBron's going or something. How do you opt out of $42 million for 2 years?
I don't understand that at all. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre story. Other things are bizarre, too. And here's the other thing. If you notice in the letter that LeBron wrote, he mentioned about some of his teammates in Cleveland. He never mentioned Wiggins. And that would be because he's probably going to end up going in a trade for Kevin Love. And they don't want to offer him, but they're going to have to get Love. So,
LeBron asked for the point guard to be for Shabazz Napier to get drafted.
What?
They drafted him.
He's got it. He's got it. Now he's there.
Right.
So.
He asked, and I've heard today that who else is leaving Miami and will immediately sign with Cleveland in the next few days is Ray Allen. Is going to Cleveland.
Well, either Mike Miller or Ray Allen, probably. I don't think they'll both go. But anyway, that's a good possibility. That's one of the things being focused. So there's so much stuff going on there right now. These next 3 or 4 days and even weeks are going to be crazy with where this free agency is taking folks. And it has certainly changed the complexion of not just Cleveland, but all the rest of the teams in the NBA, because there's trickle down all of that. And it's going to be fascinating to watch how the pieces fall together or fall apart.
It really is, and I still don't have an understanding of what conversation took place to make Dwayne Wade think his best option was to opt out of 2 years, $42 million.
His agent probably told him something. I don't know what, but I'm with you on that. That's pretty bizarre. So we'll find out what that's all about at some point in time. So the big news, he's going home, and already a lot of praise for him. CBS Sports has got a big headline that says, "Good show, LeBron." and they're talking about the headline says the writer says the decision, quote unquote, was a flop, meaning they won 4 years ago, but decision 2.0 was a master stroke.
Well, the prodigal son returns home. It's the story of the prodigal son.
Yeah, it's a feel good story for sports. You know, remember all the criticism he got for being selfish and being greedy and all that stuff. He just reversed that completely.
Well, in most people's minds, and people like me, not so much. This is bailing on a team that was able to win, that were just a few shots. Remember, the Miami Heat team was not a bad team. They got beat 4-1 in the finals, but at 4 years in the finals, they were 1 or 2 pieces away from winning the finals again. And now yes, it's to go back home. It's a great feel-good story. I'm home. I'm going back to help little kids in the area who always had a superstar. Hogwash. You were close to winning in Miami, in my opinion, and you turned your back on those guys that fought for you. I think it's a snow job by LeBron James, and I've lost respect for him.
You know what? You're typical of a guy who called a shot wrong. You said all the time, "Oh, he's not going to leave. He's not going to leave. He's not going to leave." And now he left, and now you're bitter. That's the truth be known. So don't give me any of that garbage. I know why you don't.
He quit on his team.
Yeah, I'm going to get Joe Williams on you coming up next. We'll just see about that right now. We're going to take a break, come back. Joe Williams on the line. We'll get his take on that, plus a little college football and the issue of beer being sold at some of the college football stadiums. Texas among those now saying they're not going to sell it. We'll talk more about that, college football, and also LeBron James on the other side with Joe Williams of Mile High Sports right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
We are The Source, WOCA.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hi, I'm
I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Back to Play Sports Page, wrapping up the week with our friend Joe Williams. We haven't talked to Joe in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. Time to get a little hitman talk here, a little Joe Williams fix. Joe, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm I'm on the countdown to college football. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know. We declared it here 3 days ago. Countdown to college football. I can't wait. I'm ready to go, and I think a lot of people are ready to go. I noticed today that a few notes would talk about here. There seems to be a trend of college football not selling beer, and because they had such issues with, I guess, the spectators and fans, and obviously spilling beer on people and what have you. But apparently your school, University of Texas, has joined that group now. They're not going to serve beer. Do they sell beer in Colorado? They must have to.
No,
people. They
don't need to. They don't need to sell beer at college football stadiums. Kids are drunk enough when they get it, come in there anyway. They don't need to exacerbate it by selling beer. And I don't think they will, and I don't think they should. So that takes care of my end of it.
If you remember, buddy, that beer sales came to a grinding halt at college games with the trampling of some students and the death of a couple students at Camp Randall in Wisconsin about 20 years ago.
Well, they've had beer there since then, though. The other schools have had them. But anyway, LSU, by the way, speaking of party schools, expand their stadium to 102,000, second behind Tennessee. So they better learn how to fill
the place where dreams go to die.
Exactly. That's what.
Boys, let me ask you something. Now, I'm looking at, I'm watching the programs, I'm reading the magazines just like everybody else is. We've been doing this forever since we all became college football fans, and the consensus I'm seeing is 4 teams to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ohio State. Now, which one of those do y'all think won't get there? Now, all 4 of them, only one of or 2 of them may get there, but which one do you think for sure won't get there? And, buddy, I know because how much you hate them, you're going to say Florida State. But I look at Florida State, and I don't see much in the way of, they got to play Oklahoma State at Dallas. That's early on. I think that's like one of those August games or September the 1st game. I don't have it in front of me. But I know Oklahoma State lost 28 seniors. They can't beat Florida State. The Irish play them in Tallahassee, and the Irish ain't going to be good enough to beat them. And the only other game, and y'all could answer this, is the Gators. And Florida State's got them at Tallahassee. So I see a pretty clear path for Florida State. And, buddy, if you can just put your bias aside about Florida State and you can comment on what I just said, and Tom, you can back me up.
Not so fast, my friend. I have Florida State in my Final Four. And matter of fact, we happen to be the official station here for Florida State. We carry FSU football. So don't start bad-mouthing me about Florida State.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you. Tom, let me tell you something. In 1984, when Mike Shanahan came to the Denver Broncos as an assistant, and he came straight from Florida. And, of course, Buddy was the sports editor of the Denver Post at the time. And a couple of months after Shanahan got here, he was on our show, and we were in a break, and he asked me, how come Buddy Martin hates Florida State so bad? He actually asked me that. I said he can't hardly stand to. Not only does he hate him, he can't hardly stand to type their name in the typewriter. Now remember, this is back when they were pretty good teams, Florida State teams. This is Bobby Bowden, and Buddy couldn't stand it. But anyway, Buddy, so you do have him as one of your
yeah, I got
four?
one. And by the way, what does Mike Shanahan know? He got fired, so there you go. So yeah, I definitely have him in there. And you're forgetting a team. I'm not sold on Oklahoma, by the way, just yet. I think Bobby Stoops has got a lot of good players. You need to watch that Oregon team out there. You know, they're always a little short, but I think they'll be back again in it this year, that hunt on the West Coast. So I wouldn't leave them out.
Well, I'm not leaving anybody out, but what that will come down to among the committee. Remember now, it's a 13-member committee. You got 5 sitting athletic directors.
Are you on it, Joe? Are you on that committee?
Even when their school comes up for discussion, they'll be
on that
excused
committee,
from the
Joe?
room. But Oklahoma, you mentioned Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You remember they don't have to play a conference championship game,
right.
So that's a big hurdle that they get to dodge. They play Tennessee at home. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee upset them.
No,
in
Tennessee
Norman.
won't beat them.
I think they play them in September. They always have to play Texas and Dallas. No matter how good or bad Texas is, that's problematical for Big Game Bob. And then the rest of it, maybe at Texas Tech with Davis Webb, and the fastest player in college football is Javeen Grant. You know, those will be Oklahoma stumbling blocks, the only ones I see. Alabama, this is the one I think is going to have the hardest time to break through because they're at Tennessee, and I expect Tennessee to be pretty good this year. They're at LSU, and, of course, they got to play Auburn, you know, even though that's a home game. You know, Malzahn's got me sold. I believe he's for real. I believe they are, and as long as he's there, they're going to be. Plus, they got Nick Marshall, and Alabama's breaking in a new quarterback. So I think Alabama, and then Ohio State, of course, the Penitentiary North, at Penn State and at Michigan State, and they can probably negotiate both those games. That's about the toughest that I can see there for them. So of those 4, gentlemen, which one do you agree with me on?
Well, I'm going to take Florida State and Alabama for sure in that bunch, and I'm going to add in Oregon. And I got to make up my mind on the other team. There may be a second SEC team, although they won't get in the Final Four because they just aren't. Going to put 2 SEC.
The question you asked, Joe, which one of these 4 that in the preseason won't be in there?
Yeah.
Until Nick Saban shows me he can beat Gus Malzahn on the field and not by trying to get rules changed, I think Alabama's the odd team out there.
Yeah, see, I do too. I do too. And I know they've recruited very well and everything, but I don't know how their quarterback, if it is indeed this Coker or that kid they've had around there for 5 years, Blake Sims, whoever it is going to be.
Coker.
And y'all will find this out, I'm sure, at the SEC meetings that you're going to be attending. But I think Alabama, of the 4 we just mentioned, and I'm not leaving out Oregon, buddy, because I think they'll go undefeated, but you know what? They might be left out against a one-loss SEC team.
Well, I know that Slive is really campaigning, the commissioner, to get a second team in there. But I don't trust this committee. And we talked about it some earlier today. Is that we're talking about now humans and not computers, and we're talking about people that have maybe experience watching football. If I went over that list, I'm not too familiar with most of those people. I don't know what they'll come up with. But I don't trust the process right now, and so anything could happen right now. And so I just don't know. I mean, if it's based on and that's what it'll be based on, their rankings. So we'll have to find out how they're leaning. I think Alabama will be in there.
One thing that bothered me right off the bat, somebody slipped me a Mickey and told me Tom Osborne's on this committee.
Your favorite coach. Speaking of hating teams, by the way, nobody hated a team more than you hated Nebraska. You were notorious.
Oh, I was just having fun with them.
No, you were not. You're all over their Facebook pages up there. They hate you with a passion up in Lincoln. Don't tell me that, man. But I'm ready for some football. We'll be reporting to you live from up in Hoover next week. The SEC meetings. We'll be doing your show there on Thursday, Joe. And I'm excited about it. I'm ready. I'm ready to start talking it. And the ranking system and all that stuff, the 4 teams and all that, it's going to be a fascinating story.
Buddy, do you remember when Omaha Herald, I think it was 1990, they ranked me and Dave Logan public enemies #1 and 1A? And
I do. I also remember a picture of you in chicken soup, which was Roddy's.
Yeah,
well, why do you got to bring that up? Every time he's got to bring that up, Joe.
Yeah, you bet. It's a famous thing. It's all part of the deal. So, all right, Hitman, I got to give me 10 seconds worth of LeBron James. You like it? You don't like it? Good decision, bad?
Well, it's good for Cleveland because they're a downtrodden city in all their professional sports, so that'll work. Their young team, though, old teams win championships in pro basketball, so they won't win the title. Although they've jumped up to they're the 3-1 favorite in Las Vegas.
All right, Joe.
To win it. And by the way, the Miami Heat, the snub one, they're now 100-1.
All right, Joe, we're out of time, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're out of time. All right, thanks to Chris Flair, Lieutenant Billy Woods, Dave Pingalore in Orlando.
Say goodbye,
of course,
buddy.
Joe Williams. Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still